What's going on, y'all? It's dashon.j. I'm here with another video. This time I'm talking about what folks are scared to admit. This job market is cooked. Nobody is hiring. Or if they are, they're offering some joke level wages that can't even keep the lights on. If you if you've been out there searching, scrolling through job boards, hearing, well, we'll get back to you, but never hearing back, you already know what I'm talking about. For the next couple minutes, we'll dive in deep. I'm going to break down exactly why this market feels so broken. And I'm going to share some stories from people just like us who can't catch a break and talk about the hustles we're turning into instead. Coming from where I'm from, we ain't got that much time to sugarcoat it. It's survival mode, or we got to get real about what's happening out here. Let's look at the bigger picture. I'm hearing from friends in all types of industries: fast food, warehouse, offices, you name it. They said the same thing. We're not hiring, or the position is cut, or worse, we only got part-time hours now. You would think we were in the middle of a recession, but turn on the news and they'll spin it another way. Meanwhile, regular folks can't even pay for rent. The media tries to tell us the economy is bouncing back, but tell that to the person who's been on the job hunt for almost a month, whose bills are piling up, whose car is about to get repo. The gap between the official narrative and the reality of the ground is huge. I got a homie, right? Let's call him Marcus, who used to do retail. Store closed during the pandemic, never reopened. He's out there applying everywhere. Big chain grocery stores, warehouse. They all give him the runaround. He's got a clean record. He's willing to work, but guess what? Crickets. How is a man supposed to get on his feet like that? Even for the lucky ones who do get hired, wages ain't kept up. You might land a job at $14 an hour, but rent costs $1,200 at best. The math don't add up. You do 40 hours a week, your check can't even cover the basics. Meanwhile, gas prices keep rising, groceries are sky high. It's a losing game. I see job listings that want a college degree, 3+ years experience for $30K a year. Like, are you serious? That's not even an entry level, more like desperation level. And so folks are forced into gig work, ride shares, deliveries, just to scrape by. But guess what? That gig market is getting flooded too. This is the ugly truth for many of us. The so-called job market is looking like a dead end. Next, next up, I'm gonna share with some real stories from people in my community and beyond. So you'll know it's not just me ranting. This is reality for a whole lot of us. Let's talk about real people, folks I know, or you might know someone like them. People who did everything they were supposed to do, only to find out the systems failing them. So first, we got Tanya. She went to college, wrapped up some student loans, because that's what she was told. She just got her degree, and and you'll be all set. She graduates into a market that's in pieces. Companies are picky, wages are low, and her debt is massive. She's in her 20s, already feeling like she's drowning. And she's thinking, why did I even bother with 4 years if I'm just gonna end up waiting tables? Then there's Jermaine, who worked factory lines for a decade, hard worker, never late, gave that company his loyalty. Then they closed the facility, outsourced everything. Now Jermaine left with no job, nothing to speak for, and a mortgage. He's applying to every factory in a 100-mile radius, but they're all on hiring freezes. He's out here telling me he feels like his life was stolen. And let's not forget the single mom or dad out there. Imagine trying to raise kids, keep them safe, feed them, and every time you walk into an interview, it's either some part-time nonsense or they say, we'll call you, which they never do. So now you got to figure out babysitting for gig work or just hope a neighbor can help you out. It's an impossible puzzle. These stories ain't just about money, they're about people hope getting crushed. The mental toll is real. Depression, stress, anxiety. I have folks tell me they feel worthless because they can't provide. And guess what? That shames kills spirit. I remember us as kids growing up about big dreams, opening businesses, traveling. Now, as adults, we're stuck battling a job market that isn't even trying to hear us. These broken dreams are personal and they run deep. In places like where I come from, it's crazy. Now, all right, so that's the human side. Next, we're gonna dive into why from a bigger picture it's gotten so damn hard to get hired in the first place. Now, spoiler alert, the system's stacked and it ain't in our favor. For real. For real, for real. And every time two giant companies merge, it's crazy. Now let's talk about in my neighborhood. Factories and warehouses used to be the big employers. Now those jobs moves overseas or they require specialty robotics. So you got people with skills that aren't in demand locally anymore. Every time two giant companies merge, guess what? They lay off of thousands. Same job that used to need 10 people, now guess what? They piled on 2 or 3 more employees. The rest of us are left out in the cold. Jobs that never needed a degree now want masters. It's ridiculous. People who can't afford college get pushed out, and even people with college degrees get overshadowed by those with more advanced degrees. The bar keeps moving. How many of y'all has spent hours on a company's career page filling out an application that probably goes straight to the algorithm? If your resume ain't got the right keywords, you get ghosts automatically. That's how the modern hiring game is rigged. Growing up, we were taught work hard, show up on time, you'll be good. That advice is borderline useless now. We see people with hustle for days, but no formal credentials getting turned away left and right. Something's got to give. But here's the thing, if you come from a rough neighborhood like me, these issues are double, triple, or more. Next, I'm going to talk about the unique barriers we face because it's not a level playing field and you know it. So let's get real. If you're from a struggling community, you don't just compete with automation and downsizing. You're also battling stereotypes, limited networks, and sometimes a lack of resource that others take for granted. Schools in poor neighborhoods and underfunded, that means outdated computers, fewer skilled teachers, and less guidance about what jobs are even out there. While some kids are learning coding at 14, we barely had enough textbooks to go around. Like, let's call it what it is. Some employees see an address from a certain zip code or see your background and they automatically move on. Or they spot a gap in your resume you spent hustling, maybe caring for your family, and they don't even want to hear about that story. A lot of jobs are in suburban industry parks or across the city and areas with no direct bus lines. If you can't afford a car, you're stuck. And if you have a car but can't keep up with your insurance or gas, you're still stuck. It's a catch 22. Plenty of people in my neighborhood got minor charges or got roped into something at a young age. Even after they're done their time, they can't catch a break. That record hunts you no matter how eager you are to turn your life around. It's not just about finding a job. It's about feeling like the world wrote you off from birth. That kills motivation, man. You see your homies dealing or giving up on life because they've hit a wall at every turn. It's heartbreaking, but we don't fold. Where I come from, if the door is locked, we break in a window. If the window's buried, we find another way in. Next, we'll talk about how people are coping and hustling because that's the only option left. All right, so the market's messed up, doors are slammed in our face. How do we survive? Trust me, people from my hood have been finding ways to eat since day one. We got no choice. Yeah, I'm talking about side gigs that pay cash, mowing lawns, cleaning houses, or helping someone move. It's not glamorous, but it's not stable. And it's not stable, but it keeps the lights on when the W 2 jobs aren't calling you back. I see folks selling plates out of their kitchen, Soul Food Sundays, Taco Tuesdays. Neighbors line up because it's cheaper than eating out. Others do hair, nails, fix cars. That's hustle. It might not get you that 401k, but it's real income that doesn't require some HR manager blessings. Bartending underrated. Some people trade skills. My homegirl does braids. I fix her computer. That sense of helping each other out is huge when the market is leaving everyone behind. Let's be real though. We're also making tough choices. Moving back in with your family, skipping meals, living with multiple roommates. It's survival, not thriving. But what else can we do when rent's insane and jobs are a myth? Me, I've done it all from selling stuff on the corner to flipping items online. We do what we got to do. I'm not saying it's the perfect plan, but it's how we get by until we can find a real opportunity or create one on our own. Speaking of creating our own opportunities, in the next couple minutes, we're going to look into the new lanes opening up, like online gigs, content creation, entrepreneurship, and sometimes you got to step outside of old systems if the systems ain't letting you in, you know? Now, I want to give y'all some hope cuz it's not all doom and gloom. The old door might be shut, but we can build a new one. Let's talk about side hustles and online gigs that are changing the game, especially for people who grew up hustling anyways. Sites like Fiverr, Upwork, People Per Hour, whatever. If you can write, design, edit videos, code, or even do voiceover, you can sell that service online. You don't need a fancy degree or a dress shirt. You just need to prove that you can deliver quality work. More companies are hiring remote. If you have a decent internet and some hustle, you might land a customer support or a virtual assistant gig. Better than spending half of your check on commuting. And you can do this from your living room, saving time and stress. You got something to say, put it on YouTube. Start a podcast, build a TikTok presence. People from rough neighborhoods got stories that the world actually want to hear. Sponsors and ad revenues can come once you build an audience. It might start slow, but it's a real lane. Etsy for homemade goods, Shopify for your own online store, or selling ebooks, or maybe beats or online courses. Any digital product that uses your skills, you know, if you're good at something, share it to the world. That's the best part. You set the rules. I seen neighbors who started out crouching beanies for fun and ended up shipping orders nationwide through Instagram. When the market's cooked, you either strive to learn to cook your own lane. That's the spirit we come from. None of this is guaranteed or easy. You got to grind, build a portfolio, market yourself, deal with competition, but at least you're in control instead of waiting for a job that might never come. So we cover how messed up the job market is, how folks survive, and these new doors we can open ourselves. And the final stretch, let's tie it all together with a call to action, some hope, and my personal wish for people to struggle, for people, anyone struggling out of there. Let's go. So this is how I'm go. From where I'm from, too many people give up because they think they have to have a shot. I want you to remember that your worth isn't measured by your paycheck or a company's decision. Your life experience is real currency. Use it to your navigate, adapt, and create your own path. So if the job market is cooked, let it be. We'll cook something else. We'll cook up new opportunities, new ways to hustle, and new ways to support each other. That's how we always survive, by innovating when the system fails us. Let's turn this crisis into a chance to level up on our own terms. If this couple minutes that is hitting home for you, make sure you share it with someone who's struggling. Drop your stories in the comment. Let's build a community of folks who aren't waiting for permission to succeed. Hit the like, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, and stay locked in for real talk content. Thank you for sticking around with me this long. Remember, we might be cooked in the market, but we're not about to starve. We hustle, we adapt, we survive. Until next time, peace.